Yeah, when you first meet someone, life is beautiful. I think, you know, you just kind of like just forget about many troubles around the world, you know. And then after a year, reality starts kicking in a bit. I think again, you know. But yeah, life's a bit different, isn't it, when you first meet someone, and you're on a romance together, basically.
Yeah.
I quite like romance myself, you know.
Well, I think that the first year of any relationship, generally speaking, is always generally like the honeymoon. I kind of call it the honeymoon stage. Obviously, you know, even though it isn't the honeymoon stage, but I think people understand what I mean when I say that. Like, it's that very early stages of like the blissfulness. Of, most people are kind of head over heels in love, and it's all lovey-dovey and romantic, and you're all over each other all the time, and it's, you know, sunshine and rainbows and roses and all that, all that soppy romantic love stuff, you know. And then obviously after the more time goes by, the more serious things become.
I mean, when I first met my ex-wife, she was 19.
Yeah.
I was a bit older than her. I was already experienced with sex. You know, I already had a baby.
Yeah.
Already had a son. You know, so and she wasn't. You know what I mean? So it's different to each person, isn't it? In a funny way, you know. So I mean, even sex is something to do with confidence a bit, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course it does. You've got to be able to try. Yeah, you've got to be confident.
And are you good at making love? You know, are you good in bed, basically?
Practice makes perfect.
Are you good in bed?
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Are you confident? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, confidence.
I think, but especially in that scenario, like both parties can tell whether or not someone's confident. If you see what I mean. You know.
As I say, I was sort of like living on my own now, and just simply enjoying life.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
And doing the things I enjoy as well.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you know, like I told you, I said that I learned video editing, and I don't think if I was married, I don't think I would have done as much or had time to do as much. You know.
Yeah.
But I think like when you get a girlfriend or when you do get married and when you have children, they're going to take a lot of your time.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
You know, and you give up a lot of your time for it. You give up yourself in a kind of way. You know, you sort of like give up you.
Yeah.
Yourself for someone else, and they do the same for you in a funny way.
Yeah. Having children is, generally speaking, having children and being a good parent is, you know, it's a selfless act, if you see what I mean, you know.
Well, nobody knows. It don't come with a book, does it?
No, but what I'm saying is a selfless act. Like you said, your whole existence almost becomes for your children, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
pretty much, you know, especially for me, like, you know, I had my son young. I was only 20 when I had my first son, almost 21. And my daughter was born when I was 26. So I was still relatively young as well when I had my second child. So yeah, you know, it's just something just instinctively and intuitively happens within you. It just happens naturally. Like every decision you make, everything you do, you think about your kids. Like, oh, you think about their future. You're thinking about providing the best life you can possibly provide. You're thinking about everything, all that, trying to stay safe and all these kind of things too as well for your kids, and so you can grow up and see your kids grow up and all these different things,
No, I was thinking all that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was sort of thrown away from it all, do you know what I mean? And that is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like wanting to sort of look after your daughter and your son, whatever, but you can't. They're not with you. You can't do anything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're out of your hands, do you know what I mean? So that hurts, But anyway, like, I think it's kind of like mentally done me good, if anything, because it's sort of like just made me go into deeper thinking, really, about myself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when we first divorced, I'm thinking, was it my fault? Was it my, you know, thinking round in circles.
Oh, of course,
For
naturally.
a number of hours, you know, a number of days.
Days, might even be months. Yeah.
That's right, you know. Forever sort of scratching my head, wondering what happened there.
Where did I go wrong?
Or,
yeah.
You know.
Is it my fault? Do I have to take?
You kind of blame yourself.
Do I have to take self-accountability?
Yeah.
You know.
But now I look back, you know, I don't blame myself at all. Do you know what I mean? And I've forgiven my wife in a kind of, you know, in a big way now, and I'm living life now. You know, as I say, I was very, very unhappy that she did it to me and the children at the beginning, but now I feel blessed.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to explain. You know, but I feel like it's put me. I've gone through hell.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, because we had a number of court cases as well. You know, I think we had about 12 court cases together. You know, and that's not including the first one.
Okay.
When the absolute and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She made sure I didn't get to the first one. You know, I didn't get any notifications when I was living on the boat in Caribou or nothing. Do you know what I mean? She didn't want me to know.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't want me to get there. So I didn't get that one, but
kind of blindsided you a bit.
That's right. You know, it was a real kick in the teeth. Do you know what I mean? You know, I was very angry, but anyway, anger. You know, I think it only if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger.
Adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been so angry in life that I you know, I can't get, you know, I just can't get angry anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes you could use your anger to.
Well, I do get angry.
To drive you too as well. Like sometimes, like things can happen in life, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna bounce back even harder, even stronger. I'm going to be even better. I'm going to have a better life. I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to use this as a stepping stone to, you know, build my confidence and to rebuild my life and to move on. And I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. And even if I'm angry right now, I'm going to use that as you know, as fuel to achieve what I want. And I know I'll overcome it, if you see what I mean, in time. You know?
That's right.
It's
I mean, it's like when I lost my first girlfriend. Yeah. Who I did get married to. Yeah. We had a baby together. And the time we were only together 3 years, really, you know. Yeah. And she was. I've already mentioned in previous episodes that she was quite highly abused. Yeah. I was with her for about 3 years. Yes. And then all of a sudden she met somebody, right, and wanted me out. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I lost it all. Yeah. And I was so hurt, do you know what I mean? I thought, I felt like killing myself then, do you know what I mean? And, you know, ending my life back then. Yeah, unaliving yourself. But, you know, I was kicked out of everything that I loved again, you know, that I worked for. And I decided to not go drinking and things like that and go, you know, whatever. Yeah. Decided to go weight training. And then, in the 2 months, you know, I started looking good. Yeah. Put my anger out on the weights, you know, rather than being in bed depressed in a kind of way, you know. So I chose to sort of work out, you know what I mean, and get myself stronger. Yeah. And then soon after I met my wife, in a kind of way, who I married and had 2 other children with. You know, I feel like if I, you know, she didn't kick me out, those 2 beautiful children would have been born. Yes. Yeah. You know, so. Yeah, exactly. It does knock your confidence completely when you put all your love and energy into a woman, and then next minute you're out. Yeah. Some kind of way, you know. And then you do it again, and it happens again. Do you know what I mean? It really tires me out. Yeah. I don't want to do it again. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm quite happy. I feel like I'm happy with what I've done. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, is it a mistake? Do I feel like have I made a mistake having 3 children in the past? Yeah. You know, and they're alive today. You know what I mean? And they're all got their own lives. They're trying to build up their own confidence today, whatever in life. You know, that's what we're all trying to do at the end of the day, aren't we? Yeah. We're trying to get more confident in just being a human. Yeah. Being to everyone else around us. So no, some people don't want to know. You know, they live in their own world and they... A little bubble. Well, that's it. You know, I think there's a spectrum of different people out here. But I do think like there's just two different types of people. You know, there's either the educated or the not educated. And what is education after all? You know, it is being a good human. You know, a righteous.
Righteous.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, knowing what's right and and what's not right.
Yeah.
In life. You know, and having full confidence in yourself. You know, I mean, I'm not confident in everything.
Yeah, same. I think no one really is though.
I mean, I didn't even think we were going to be
everything.
doing a show like this, you know, and you
Yeah.
said let's do a show, and I've been sat here doing a show ever since, you know.
And we've become more and more confident.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be a presenter.
Yeah.
Or anything for this show or any show.
And likewise, mate, prior to us actually doing this show and kind of coming up with the idea for the show and everything else, like I never kind of like foresaw myself kind of really doing a podcast, you know.
No.
I always wanted to find like an outlet rather, or you know, a way to kind of share some information and advice and kind of like life experience with people. But I never really knew how I was going to do that, if you see what I mean. And then obviously,
this is it.
That's what I mean. So this is kind of like, that's what kind of birthed the podcast, really. And we've been going ever since, haven't we, mate? And the more we've done it, the more confident we both become. I think we both even kind of noted, you know, kind of observed that ourselves throughout even, you know, watching back some of the episodes ourselves, how, you know, we've kind of evolved as kind of, you know, presenters of our own, you know, you know.
I hope we're improving. Let's put it that way.
Oh, for sure. That's always the goal, isn't it?
Well, I'm hoping that we should improve in the future.
Yeah.
Get even more in depth what we're talking about, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning, you know, and I try to sort of like use my time if I've got any spare to learn things that I don't already know.
Yeah.
But it's also important really to choose things that are worth knowing.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, useful to you obviously as a person.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But there's a lot of really information out there that is really pointless, worth knowing even, I think, in a kind of way. Well, there's some things that I know, or I've seen, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I wish I didn't know or learn about it. Or it's not important.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, you could learn, like say, every bird and every tree name, which is useful, isn't it? Really. It is useful.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's so important. I think it's more important to know about plants.
Oh yeah.
Than it is knowing about different animals in any way, you know. Because like plants, well,
are generally more beneficial to us as humans in terms of like medicines and remedies and ailments and all these different things, like, you know.
I just like to learn things that might be useful, you know, maybe even to help other people in the future, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And go forward rather than backwards. Like I say, I mean, I think like me being depressed, or anyone being depressed, really is a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's your own waste of time. You know, I mean, it's your life after all, and if you've been depressed, say this year so far, that's your life.
Yeah.
Why have you got a question, why have you been depressed this year, you know? I mean, as I said, I've been depressed, you know, and I'm putting my hands up to that, you know. I think most of us have.
Yeah.
In this world that we're living in, you know, like even for instance Michael Jackson, say for instance, or a number of famous people, I guarantee you they've been depressed. You know, even Marilyn Monroe, I know that she went through a depression.
Okay.
You know, at the end of her life, you know, because I read about it. And I think like we've all got to go through this. You know, I think like depression is part of life.
Yeah.
I think it's like sadness, for instance. Yeah. You got to try to get out of it same as the depression. You know, you got to try to get out of it. It's one of one of my main sort of goals each day. I do not get sad or depressed for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was a younger person or a number of years ago, even with my wife, even some little things she might have said to me might have upset me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And now they wouldn't upset me, if you see what I mean, because I'm mentally stronger.
Yeah.
And in a kind of way, nothing really upsets me. In unless I saw something like, say, a little girl or boy get run over. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Something really sad.
Well, that would upset me. Yeah. But I'm not saying I don't get upset. I'm not saying I don't get angry or anything. But I feel like
You're more in control.
Well, if I get angry, it's probably going to be for the right reasons.
Yeah.
If I get upset, it's going to be for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Yeah. If you're justified in your,
Yeah. But I feel more, as I'm getting older, each year I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm 58 now, I'm going to be 59, whatever, and soon, whatever. And every year you do get a little bit wiser and more confident in life, don't you? And you kind of understand it more, and you understand yourself more. You should do anyway.
Yeah.
I certainly understand myself a lot more. I've lived with myself for nearly 60 years now. I haven't put up with myself for that long. It's been, sometimes I annoy myself, honestly, because I talk a lot. I've got to shout at, really that's it really, I've got to shout at myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the only show that we missed out since we've been doing it is the time that I come back from holiday.
Yeah.
And I lost my camera.
Yeah.
And then I had to order a new one. And other than that, we've been just doing a show.
You've been on point, for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's consistent for a very long time.
Yeah, no, I'm actually enjoy doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like, we're both learning from it as well.
Exactly, as well as hopefully helping, teaching other people at the same time in a way to a degree as well.
Yeah, it's always, I feel like, if I can make someone smile during a day or anything like that, that makes me feel happy.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
And it's like
you've brought some joy to someone's day.
Well, I've got another channel, I film pigeons, I feed them. And some people love my movies, I've got quite a few subscribers now, whatever, and a number of people like what I do. But when I'm filming them, some people walk past and they smile, or they talk to me, and they're really happy. But some people don't like it, and they get really angry, and that's what I'm saying. There are two different personalities out there.
That's true.
Some people are unhappy themselves, maybe, and they blame everyone else as well. They blame the world for it. Some people are confident with everything, like you say. I feel like I'm pretty confident. Like for instance, like DIY. I'm quite good with all that kind of stuff. Honestly, if I had to put a shelf up or something like that, I know that I can do it. So I know. I mean, I've been in the building trade half my life. I work with different tradesmen. Plumber. Electrician. Sometimes, whatever. Bricklayer. And I kind of learned how to build a house in a funny way. So I'm quite confident in the building trade. But some people aren't. Some people are useless at DIY, aren't they?
True.
Because they've not had no experience. That's why. So they can't have any confidence in putting a shelf up or anything, because they've not really done it before, I suppose. So I think like the biggest thing is with confidence is people give up on themselves. And like I say, with the children, patting them on the back, saying you're good at that. Or saying, wow, that's good, things like that. Picking their confidence up, And you got to do that with yourself a bit, sometimes.
As well. Sometimes you've got to be your own cheerleader, don't you, mate?
Well, when you've done something, like even cooked a dinner for your family, pat yourself on the back. And, you know.
You've done a good job.
Yeah, you know, just I think it's just important that you build up your own confidence. You know?
Yeah, true. You've got to. Sometimes you've got to praise yourself a little bit too, as well.
And don't give up.
Yeah.
Which is what most people do, actually. You know,
Mm.
like if they want to learn something and they do it for a couple of days and they think, no, this is impossible. You know, it's going to take me too long or whatever, and they give up.
Yeah, it's true.
But the truth is, it's like ice skating. You know, that takes a long time to learn, doesn't it? You know, and if you want to get good at ice skating, I think you've got to start at 6 years old.
Yeah. You know,
you got to come to wake up to reality that you're not. Sometimes I'm never going to be good at ice skating. I know that. You know, I know. It's too late for me. You know, too late. I'm 60. I might get a bit better than I am today, but I'm never going to be someone that entertains a lot of people. You see what I mean? You know, like some people do. It's like easy to some people, isn't it, ice skating? And very difficult to other people.
Yeah.
And that's just it with everything, isn't it? You know, it's like cooking. Sometimes it's easy for people to make an apple pie or whatever. And some people can't cook.
Yeah, it's true.
And I wouldn't like that, would you? Like, not knowing how to cook.
Yeah, same.
In this life, you know, like.
Especially if you're a single person and you're living on your own and you're supposed to be independent.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able to look after yourself to a degree. You know.
Like phoning up your mum. Can you come up? Because I don't want to roast dinner this weekend. Can you come up?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't cook, can I, mum?
You should be ringing them up, telling them to come up for the weekend. I'll make you a dinner. Yeah, come up and I'll make.
Right.
You know, I mean,
that's what.
I'm a grown and independent person now. You've been cooking for me my whole life. Let me make. Let me cook you a dinner.
That's what I do now. You know, I cook my mum and whatever dinner. You know what I mean? And that, I feel good that I can do it.
Yeah.
I feel good that I'm independent. You know, that I've actually left. I think I left my mum when I was 21, like I said, and I've gone through a lot since then. You know, I've had quite a number of houses, to be honest with you. You know, but this place here, my house, and it's been my house for quite long time now, and I'm quite enjoying it now. I'm quite
quite settled and happy.
Well, when I first moved in, my children were young and I had custody of them.
Yeah.
And it was a bit difficult back then, at first. But now it's different. It's changed, and I'm just pleased that I'm not married.
Yeah.
I wake up and I just go and do my own thing. And it's just like I haven't got anyone else to wait for. Or do anything for anymore.
Yeah.
And that's quite a relief in a kind of way after all these years, I think.
Yeah.
Of doing things for
others.
Everyone, yeah.
You can look after yourself now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
It's a bit selfish, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, I do enjoy doing things with people. I really do. I mean, like say, if I did come into a lot of money, I reckon I'd love to sort of build some sort of city or something. I'm not talking about if I was really rich and give lots of people homes. I'd feel really good if I could give a family a home. I didn't have one before. Things like that, Because I mean, when you get say 70, do you still want to be a millionaire when you're 70 so you can enjoy your last 10 years or so?
Have the time of your life.
Yeah. When you don't really feel like going out at that age, really.
Mate, I'm going to tell you right, mate, I'll be one of these people, and I think you probably already know this, mate. You're probably the same. I'm going to be enjoying my life, mate, until it's my time, mate. You know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy every day, mate, if you see what I mean. Until it's my time. I'm not going to be, even as I get older, hopefully I have a nice long life, and live to a good old age. And when I get older, I'll be still enjoying life, still getting up every day, still making the most of every day. What are we doing today? Sitting around moping and bloody waiting to bloody, keel over and kick the bucket and go, I've got no plan in doing that whatsoever. I'll be on my feet and moving around until it's my time to go,
It's one thing I'm confident about, actually, that I'm going to die one day.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
I think that's something we can all be confident about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is going to happen.
It's acceptance.
It's reality,
yeah.
if you sort of mean.
Yeah, that's true.
And it is quite funny thinking that I'm alive now, talking right now. But one day, I'm not going to be.
It's funny to think. I think what it is that it's funny to think that one day we will not cease to we will cease to exist on a physical level. And I think that's the thing that's hard to comprehend for a lot of people. You know, I think that's it. You know.
Or yeah, very difficult to accept that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even one day, sort of like this will be uploaded onto YouTube, and maybe in 30 years it'll be still there, you know, and I'll be dead, you know, I'll be gone where Michael Jackson's gone, or David Bowie and all the rest of them, you know, they're gone. Do you know what I mean? That's just it. Like, people disappear, and you just don't know when they're going to disappear.
Yeah.
You know, and it's even with the people around you. You don't know when you're going to see him last.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you don't. You really don't. That's why it's so important to try to maintain good communication and good relationships with your people. The people you love.
When you phone over the phone, you know, you don't even know when you're going to talk to them last. Do you know what I mean? Or
yeah, you don't.
If you're going to go or they're going to go.
Happens every day.
You know.
People speak to their loved ones for the last time every day. You might be on a phone call. You know what I mean? And it happens every day all across the world. People, might be on a phone call to someone, and 5 minutes later something happens, and you never see that person again. And
that's right.
You know, it's
That's why I started believing in appreciation, really, in life. You know.
Same. I'm big on that.
Appreciation of just having a day ahead of you, you know, or even a day tomorrow. So I mean, it is a nice thing to waste.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. If you're depressed about it, it's a beautiful thing to waste. I think a day. When you could have had a good day.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like in a day, you know, things do go wrong. Like you might lose your bank card, or you know, whatever, or just things go wrong, don't they? They do. They do.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like a couple of months ago when I lost my camera, my nice one, and I lost all the films on it. I was absolutely gutted. But what can you do apart from just smile about it, really, you know, and sort of, you know, kick yourself once, maybe hard, and just carry on, really, you know, with a positive, you know, this is a gift, this life.
Yeah.
So why are we getting angry about it, you know? Or I just sometimes don't really understand why people don't appreciate it when they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel, if you sort of mean.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. Sad, isn't it?
Well, it's sad for themselves, because I think once a person gets appreciation inside of them, living inside of them, they start enjoying life somehow.
Much more. That is for certain.
You know, even if you appreciate a leaf or even a little snail, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
If you can appreciate that, can you imagine if you can appreciate a snail, you're going to appreciate everything in life, aren't you, that you see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You with me?
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people don't appreciate little things. They want big things, you know. If it's not big, they're not happy, you know.
Yeah.
Some people get a present and they're not happy with it, you know, and appreciate it, even though that person's really thought about it, you know, really hard maybe, but it's not the right thing for them. And they get so upset and not appreciated about it, you know, or maybe because they were spoiled when they're young.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
But confidence is something that, you know, you can teach, I think.
Yeah, I think you can to a degree, yeah.
You can teach your children. Like I say, like, how can you teach your children to be confident is by patting them on the back, really, and being with them.
Yeah.
With your heart.
Yeah.
You sort of mean. Not knocking them back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my dad used to call me. He used to, you know, like, I mean, my mum and dad split up when I was very young, like 3. But sometimes I'd go and see my dad. My brother, 2 years older than me, and he was in the top set, I was in the bottom set, And he used to call me stupid all the time every time I saw him, do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I didn't see him often, but it really knocked my confidence big time when he
Mm.
said that, you know, and that's why I wasn't, again, I was talking about confident with girls when I was a young age. It knocked my confidence, you know, my dad saying stupid all the time, you know, it just made me feel stupid.
I get you, yeah.
And I just felt very unconfident with not just girls, with everyone because of it, really, you know.
Mm.
But now I've really learned how to be confident, you know. I mean, I've learned how to read and write, and my vocabulary's a bit better, you know. I've always been a good artist, Ron, you know.
Mm.
And yeah, I just feel more confident than ever now.
Mm.
But I feel like I had to sort of get my own confidence, you know. I didn't have my dad loving me, you know. That's partly it, isn't it? Like, if a child's being loved by both parents, they're going to get confident, I think, you know. If they're not going to get loved, they're not going to learn any confidence, or I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think all those things are contributing factors towards how confident a child grows up and how confident a child feels when they get older, you know, in the world and in the, you know, in life, etc. Like you said, I'm very big on encouragement personally especially when it comes to my kids. Like, I always say to them, you can do anything. Like, the word can't doesn't exist in our vocabulary. I always jokingly say that to them, you know, can't doesn't exist in our vocabulary. You know, as long as you put your heart and your mind to it and you believe you can do it, I guarantee 9 times out of 10 you can do it. It might take some time, it might take some practice, it might take, you know, longer than expected, but you'll do it as long as you've got your heart there and you're determined to succeed. But that's all through application as well, obviously, as well, how much you're willing to apply yourself. But yeah, I think that's definitely a contributing factor for sure. Most definitely. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up and call it a night for this week's episode, all about
confidence.
Any final words? Anything you want to leave with the people before we wrap it up and get out of here?
Well, I hope that we helped you in some way talking about confidence today. That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. All I will say personally is, while it's on my mind, I'll just speak on it very, very quickly before we wrap it up. Just because you might not be as confident as the next person does not mean that you have to knock someone else's confidence. Because there's also a lot of people out there I notice as well that do that. Yeah? It's that saying of, just because your light isn't as bright as someone else's doesn't mean that you have to try to dim theirs. Yeah? Don't knock someone else's confidence or deliberately put them down or try to attack them because you see that they're very confident in themselves and you don't like it because you yourself are not as confident as that person. Sometimes people do that through out of envy and jealousy, and other things too as well sometimes as well, just because they wish that they were like that. But yeah, I just want to say that confidence is one of these things that it takes time to build in life, in whatever, no matter what it is you're doing, and whatever area or aspect of your life, it takes time to become confident in different areas of your life. It's who you are as a person, who you are as a parent, who you are, for me, like say for example, who I am as a husband, who I am as a friend, who I am as as someone who's got a job, who's also someone who's got dreams and aspirations and doing my own thing. I'm an artist, I'm a musician, all these different things, How confident am I in each one? And the goal is to continually become continually become better in each one, so that I can become more confident in each one, and that in turn brings good results. And that's always the goal.
One of my sayings is, as long as you're doing something, you're getting somewhere. Yeah.
I like that.
And like, get out of bed. Just keep doing things, with your hands.
Yeah.
And sometimes your hands need a rest, and then you sit down and you start maybe learning something on the computer, right? But just keep doing something, right? Honestly, you know, and if you can squeeze as much as you possibly can, do as much as you possibly can in a day, you'll realise the next day you've achieved a lot. You know, and you won't have to do so much the next day, do you know what I mean? Then the next day, okay, you've learned a little bit, you know, you've done a little bit of research on the internet, learned about something interesting that took you interest, you know. Then you go, next day you might want to ask some more questions, you know, learn something else, you know, that's what I do, you know. And I'm either doing housework or going out doing a movie, I'm just doing something, do you know what I mean? I'm always aiming to do as much as possible every day.
Yeah, I get you.
The more I do, you know, and sometimes I wake, you know, I can sort of like think, oh, I don't want to do anything today, really, do you know what I mean? And just sort of like switch myself off completely, you know, because I know that I'm completely ahead.
Yeah.
So ahead that I can probably lay down for a whole week without thinking, do you know what I mean? Or forget about everything.
Yeah.
You know, because I know all the washing that I've done, do you know what I mean? Like I say, I mean, I live on my own.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a bit different for me to what it is for you, say. I know what it's like having a family and 2 children, you know, daughter and a son, like, just like you do. And, you know, it's a different... I enjoyed it, you know, I mean, I loved it. You know, I won't ever forget it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's only a moment, isn't it? Because, I mean, your children... before you know it, they're not children anymore, you know, and that time passes, you know, and I'm just glad that I experienced it, really, sort of having 2 children for a little while. Yeah. And I mean, that after all, really, it is a memory, isn't it?
True. Definitely.
Everything becomes a memory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everything.
True.
And it's up to you really to make it a good memory, I think. I mean, I've had a good day today. Have you had a good day?
Oh yeah, I've had a blessed day, mate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And tomorrow I want to go somewhere else, you know. I don't think we're going away, do you know what I mean? And yeah, you know, and I think you got to push yourself doing things.
I agree.
Even if you don't want to go out sometimes, make yourself go out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode. We'll be back again next week, of course, with a brand new episode, so please stay tuned for that. Good night. God bless. One love from the Philosophy Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.